Guys, we have a big breaking news coming out. Vladimir prepares for nuclear war on eve of Donald's summit. Now the bear readies new cruise missile nuke for test in satellite images after Donald warned of severe consequences if Ukraine conflict continues. All right. So last night I did post a video on this channel. It was the last video that I posted last night, and yeah, the bear is preparing. They're getting ready. Just like Donald is getting ready. Donald said that there will be severe consequences if there is no deal. So we're gonna see what's going on here, guys. This is a very important update news. If you can, please share the video. For those of you that want to send us letters or prayer requests, you can send it to me, US Santiago, or my wife, Jessica Santiago, at 3432 US Highway 19, number 2, Holiday, Florida, 34691. And for those of you that want to contribute to the channel, we do have the Cash App link and the PayPal link in the comments box and also the description box. Thank you again for your support. Your support is what keeps us on air. Thank you so much for that. All right, so let's see what's going on here. The bear is gearing up to test its nuclear-powered, nuclear-armed cruise missile on the eve of Vladimir's summit with Donald, and after the U.S. president warned him of severe consequences if the biblical war continues. Experts say recent satellite images show intense preparation at the Punkovo test site on Novaya Zemlya, a remote archipelago in the Barents Sea. The picture taken in recent weeks by commercial satellite firm Planet Labs reveal a surge in personnel, equipment, ships, and aircraft linked to earlier tests of the 9M730 Borovesnik, known to NATO as the SSC X9 Skyfall. I think that's the Chernobyl Skyfall. I think that's the one, if I'm not mistaken. All right, so we've definitely seen something here, guys. We are definitely seeing something here. That's the reason why the U.S. has been sending nuke sniffers out there. They know something is going on. They know that Vladimir is prepared. So this is one of the satellite image. A Western security source has also verified that the bear is preparing a Borovesnik launch, supporting the findings by Jeffrey from the Middlebury Institute of International Studies and Decker Everlanth of the CNA Research and Analysts Organization. Once again, Lewis told Reuters that it could happen this week, which could potentially overshadow the planned Vladimir-Donald summit in Alaska. Wow. So let's say there's no deal, right? Then there's a possibility the bear's going to fire this, but it's going to be a warning one, letting Donald know, hey, I'm not playing. I'm not Iran. I'm not Mexico. I'm not Canada. If you're ready for this, let's go for it. Vladimir has previously described the equipment as invisible to current and future missile defenses, claiming it has almost unlimited range. The development of the equipment has become a prime focus for Vladimir, especially after Donald revealed that he called the U.S. Golden Dome missile in January, according to experts. However, some specialists are skeptical that it can truly evade defense system or give the bear extra capability it does not already possess. There are also concerns that the missile could release some very powerful radiation along its route. This is not good news. And by the way, someone is in charge of the bear country. And that someone is that same man that called out Donald, and Donald sent 2 nuclear subs. Remember Dmitry? It seems like Dmitry has been put in charge along with other people, while Vladimir is on a plane heading towards Alaska. So yeah, we don't want to have that dude in charge. Right now, he probably has a big smile on his face, saying, "Hey Donald, remember me?" It says here, give me a second. It says here, researchers believe the test would have been scheduled long before the summit was announced, but they say Vladimir could have slowed or halted visible preparation to demonstrate that he was open to ending the biblical war in Ukraine and restarting arms control talks with Washington. Once again, this equipment does not have a stellar track record, according to the Nuclear Threat Initiative, with just 2 partial successes and 13 known tests. Now, Lewis and Evelynth say Planet Labs images taken since late July show stacks of shipping containers, more equipment, and more personnel arriving at site. Man, this is the real deal. Once again, Lewis said 2 aircraft equipped to collect test data had been parked at the Wojatevo military airfield since mid-July, both carrying saucer-shaped radar domes. Now, he also noted that the presence of at least 5 ships linked to past tests, and said ship tracking site vesselfinder.com showed a 6th vessel. Alright, so the Taraberka cargo ship heading towards the Novaya this week. There's a lot of ships being deployed, and I did post a video about the Red Dragon, the Chinese, 5 ships out there in the Pacific, way up there in Alaska. So this Alaska is basically on watch, put it like that. So airspace has been closed. You got 5 ships of the Red Dragon up there. Vladimir called Kim Jong-un, told him keep an eye on me. I mean, there's a lot of preparation going on in this one here, guys. He also noted the presence of at least, okay, we already know that. Reuters confirmed the vessel's course, but could not independently verify the rest of the findings. The researchers say they began monitoring Pankovo in July and increased scrutiny after the bear issued a maritime warning on August 6th for the period between August 9 and 12. Here's some of the images. Alright, so give me 1 second here, guys. I'm gonna take you on X, and I'm gonna show you like the planes and stuff like that where Vladimir is located. I mean, again, all the preparations happening right now, so I think the plane is heading towards, if I'm not mistaken, Alaska. Now the meeting is gonna take place tomorrow, the summit, tomorrow at 3:30 p.m. All right, so Eastern time, I believe. Notices on the Sleeping Giant Federal Aviation Administration system suggested a possible launch window from August 9 to the 22nd. Norway's military told Reuters the Barents Sea is a prime location for the Bear missile test, and that warnings pointed to preparation for test activity, though it would not confirm the type of equipment. In late July, Evelynth noticed a large shelter protecting the launcher being moved back and forth which he called very clear evidence of an upcoming launch. Now, Lewis provided August 7 images showing the launcher cover stacks of containers. A crane and a helicopter is full steam ahead, he said. Now, the revelation comes after Donald warned Vladimir there will be very severe consequences if the bear does not agree to stop the biblical war in Ukraine after their meeting on Friday. So again, this is basically the big one. In Revelation, Donald warned Vladimir there will be very severe consequences if the bear does not agree to stop the biblical war on Friday. After their meeting on Friday, US Commander-in-Chief took a tougher tone against the, I'm going to skip that name there, today, saying he was yet to be convinced he will be able to persuade Vladimir to stop the takeout civilians. European leader also said U.S. Commander-in-Chief had agreed to make an immediate cease plan at the start of negotiations a priority, something that will be painful for Moscow, which is gaining territory by the day. In more encouraging news for Ukraine, the U.S. Commander-in-Chief said tomorrow is only setting the table for a second meeting where Zelensky will be present. Zelensky is just going to mess it up. That man's going to mess it up. Donald's going to be like, hey, I got good news. We can do this. Zelensky, no, Donald. And if I were Donald, I'd tell Zelensky, I'm out of here. I'm done. I don't know you. I don't know your land. That's it. I'm out of here. You figure it out. Donald cautioned that if he doesn't get the answer he needs on Friday, that we're not going to have a second meeting. Asked if the bear will face consequences in that scenario, Donald said, yes, they will. There will be consequences. Asked if that would be sanctions or tariff, Donald said, I don't have to say. Ooh. I don't have to say. But yes, there will be severe consequences. So there will be consequences, Donald said. And now you got Vladimir Nuke is on standby. Asked if the bear will face consequences. Okay, I read that part. It says here, asked if that will be sanctioned. Donald said, I don't have to answer that. There will be very severe consequences. But he hoped that there will be a quick second meeting following the summit between Vladimir Zelensky and myself if they like to have me there. Describing the purpose of Alaska, Donald said it was to find out where we are and what we are doing before a more productive meeting with the Ukrainian leader. It is hoped that this second summit would take place in a neutral European country. Yesterday, it emerged that Donald is planning to offer Vladimir access to rare earth minerals to incentivize him to end the war, including opening up Alaska's natural resources to Moscow and lifting some sanctions. Wow. It may also include giving the bear access to the rare earth minerals in Ukrainian territory under their occupation. So Donald is willing to help him out by giving, I wouldn't say a piece of our territory, but access to certain things in Alaska, which is, very nice. But of course, Crane leader Zelensky is going to say, nope, it ain't going to work. The biblical war in Ukraine mapped in February 2022 before the operation. So you guys already know Crimea was way back in 2014, which is the pink. You see the pink color on the left side? Alright, so, and then you have the light, I guess, brown color area controlled by the bear-backed military. And then March of 2022, Yeah, that's a whole different ball game. Man, they went in, and boy, oh boy, they really did some damage on that one. April, November 2022. And then you have August 25, 2023. Hmm. Okay, so the rest I'm just gonna share in my Twitter page. It's very long, long, long. I mean, we're talking about a long article here. I mean, it's like maybe a 1 hour video. But it just the next person is Starmer, the Prime Minister of UK, and we're just gonna talk about him and JD Vance. So give me a second here. So I want to bring some of this news here. All right, so we there's a bird. There's a bird. So you have a bird out there with the Bear Special Flight Squadron seen on the ground earlier at Ted Stevens Anchorage International Airport in Anchorage, Alaska, prior to tomorrow's meeting between the bear Vladimir and Donald. All right, give me a second here. I'm bringing some of this information that's coming out today. Vladimir has admitted new agreement with the sleeping giant on strategic weapons. Now, the bear leader said that his land is ready for new agreement with the sleeping giant on strategic offensive equipment, but only on condition that long-term peace conditions are created in Ukraine. Now, he said this at a meeting with the country's top leadership, representative of the cabinet and administration dedicated to preparing for a meeting with Donald in Alaska. Now, according to Vladimir, the sleeping giant side is making energetic and sincere efforts to stop hostility and work out agreements that would be beneficial for all parties to the conflict. I mean, again, that's what we all want, but just you have one problem, Zelensky. So ending the biblical war tomorrow isn't going to happen. I don't think we can achieve that right away, Donald said. Here's more of what the US Commander in Chief told reporters. I put the chances of the meeting with Vladimir failing at 25%, Donald said. I plan to call Zelensky to arrange a second meeting after the Alaska summit with Vladimir. We're looking at 3 possible locations. Vladimir and I will have a dispute over borders and territories. He knows I'm the toughest opponent he's ever dealt with. Vladimir will agree to a deal, and the warning of sanctions against the bear has probably played a role in Moscow pushing for this meeting. All right, so that's basically the list of information from today. We have breaking news here. Vladimir is bringing the reporters. So you have the bear plane carrying journalists takes off from Moscow. Next stop, Anchorage, Alaska. So you have some of the news journalists out there is heading towards Alaska. Here's some of the information here. Once again, Flight Radar 24 is putting out, but this is the information Flight Radar. Breaking news, the bear delegation for the meeting between the bear and the U.S. leader in Anchorage is now in U.S. airspace. Got some more breaking news here. be crazy if Mount Spurs start to erupt. Man. But again, everybody will be safe in that region. Give me a second here, guys. Once again, you have a bird in the sky with the Bear Special Flight Squadron, going by the call sign RSD-381, and originating from Moscow, is currently crossing Alaska and preparing to land in Anchorage. So once again, this bird, part of the Bear Presidential Fleet, is likely carrying senior officials and advanced security personnel prior to tomorrow's meeting at Joint Base Elmendorf-Richardson between the Bear leader Vladimir and the U.S. Commander-in-Chief. Whoops. Give me a second here, guys. Okay, so it seems like this is all the information here. So Vladimir says the sleeping giant is making sincere efforts to end the biblical war in Ukraine ahead of Alaska summit with Donna on Friday, and floats potential nuclear deal. Alright, so once again, guys, all these information will be shared over my Twitter page. All the links will be in the description box. Alright, so this is all the information here, guys. Thank you so much for watching. For those of you that want to send us letters, a prayer request, you can send it to me, US Santiago, or my wife, Jessica Santiago, at 3432 US Highway 19, number 2, Holiday, Florida, 34691. Once again, guys, $5 a month Patreon. We get you access to our live stream once a week. We talk about things that we cannot talk about in the platform. Also, I posted videos today. Those links will be in the comments box. Thank you so much for watching. God bless you all. Put faith and trust in Jesus Christ, for He's the only way, the truth, and the life. No one gets to the Father except through Jesus. Thank you so much for watching. Till next time later. Peace.